Thank you. Representative Stevens.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair. And I would just say that what we are honing in on here, particularly with regard to shipbuilding, manufacturing capabilities, our merchant marines, and our naval resources, is an absolute outrage. And it's not acceptable. And I want to grill you, right? I want to ask, how did we get in this place? Why are we so reliant on foreign countries, particularly China, for merchant marines? When's the last time we built a ship here? I have, in the last year, been to Japan. I went to the Yokosuka base. I saw our amazing naval operation over there. It's an over 50-year-old ship. As somebody who's very tied to manufacturing, spends a lot of time with manufacturers and in manufacturing plants, I love seeing the decades old equipment because it was built by incredible craftsmanship and it still works. And so that's what we saw in Yokosuka. You know, this is a ship that's been reconfigured, that's been brought into the digital age, but it was made a long time ago. And we also know that if it needs to get repaired, it has to go all the way over to the other side of the world, back to the United States to get repaired. This past week, I was doing meetings, NATO meetings in Portugal, and the same thing, a nearly 50-year-old ship built in Newport News, American-made. So this is really incumbent on us and this committee to double down on the catching up activities that we took with the CHIPS and Science Act. And, you know, I played a key role in that, loved being a part of it, happy we got it done, completely agree with my colleague from Virginia. We're not going to be able to have a vibrant manufacturing sector if we don't have access to the critical materials and critical minerals. We need to replicate what is working through public-private partnership and the like for 21st century American industrial competitiveness. But the alarm bell is ringing, and it's really ringing in this ship industry. And frankly, Mr. Chair, I'd love to just do another one on ships and what's going on with our merchant marines. Now, Mr. Paul, after I've said all this, can you just go back and you had a beautiful testimony? We always appreciate your words here. How did we get in this spot? And how weak are we really, particularly with merchant marines?
Thank you for the question, Ms. Stevens, and appreciate your support for manufacturing. In a nutshell, it was a 2 or 3 step process. Step number 1, we did stop investing in our own shipbuilding in the 1980s as part of a philosophical chain. It's important to put out, by the way, that Adam Smith is like free trade is important, but you got to invest in your own ships because they're essential and they're expensive. So we did that. Others took advantage, and this is the thing: China came in. And again, through a series of 5-year plans, identified shipbuilding as a pillar industry, poured hundreds of billions of dollars into it. And you think of all the materials that go into the ships, too, and how they are subsidized. So it's subsidy on top of subsidy on top of subsidy, and they would stop at nothing to do that. And so we need to respond to that through the Section 301 petition, and we need to restore some shipbuilding investment in technology, in workforce, and in getting those shipyards from repair.
Does the AUKUS arrangement
building.
give us any opportunities? I know that's nuclear submarines. Pillar 1, Pillar 2 is, you know, on innovation and technology. But part of it, you know, as I was looking at your testimony, we talk about, and you said this here to us verbally, the well-paying jobs. Yeah. And obviously, you know, we're proud of that. We've got this going in Michigan, Detroit. You know, thank you, President Biden. Detroit's at its lowest levels of unemployment in 50 years. My district is at 2.5% unemployment. We know, you know, you're a part of the skills gap conversation and the workforce needs. And yet I start to look at this and I'm thinking, well, where's the talent going to come from? where's the workforce going to come from? And something that AUKUS is showing us is that we might be able to work with allies more strategically to build these puppies. I don't know if there's opportunity with that. I'm not trying to say we don't want to have it built here, but we gotta be strategic and we gotta move. 2025 is around the corner. You know, we're sailing into a whole new period of time, and if we don't have a merchant marine, if we don't have naval ships, we're just ceding way too much ground. And the American people, we appreciate the audience here, but the American people think we're the best. They assume we're the best. It's pride and joy, you know, as we enter summer season, kicked off by Memorial Day, and seeing all, you know, saluting, you know, our troops, recognizing the fallen, and this and that. But we have got to get serious. So I'm over my time, Mr. Chair, but thank you for the phenomenal hearing. I yield back.